Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of 5 Flames 4 Fives. First up, we have not a 12-year-old boy playing Lion, Peaches on Shadow Shaman, Burst Stream on Lich, and finally, I'm actually going to look at my own replay. So it's going to be Wizard playing Pugnath. Let's just go ahead and do it. You bought yourself 2 sentries, which I think is really good. The stick is nice against the tide. I'm gonna suggest that you consider mangoes over the clarities. If you're trying to play this lane pretty passively, which is a reasonable thing to do as Lion, then I respect the clarity choice. Most supports though, mangoes makes more sense. You want to block the hard camp, especially against tide. Tide tends to push the lane in, and then he really needs pull. This is why you buy salves against Witch Doctor, because you're going to find yourself really low really often. Instead of denying your sentry, you could just place the sentry a little bit outside of the camp and still cover more or less all of the camp if you place it like here or here. I sometimes prefer to place it up here because then sometimes they put a obs here and you can get that too. I think you could cast your Q a little bit more in between like doing lane shenanigans. Okay, you finally got a small camp, so now you're capable of pulling. You probably don't need to pull at this particular moment though, because the lane is in a good position. I'll go ahead and eat a Tango. I don't think you need to wait on it. You have the salve, so as long as you don't die. Oh, you died straight away. Perhaps if you had eaten your Tango earlier, you could have lived. You haven't used the clarities. I don't think you're going to be using them anytime very soon. I think you can time your pulls at more appropriate times. We went ahead and got Shackles. 1 point in Ether Shock is nice, just to trade and harass a little bit. It's less committal than Shackles. However, grabbing Shackles with the jug makes a lot of sense. I'll keep saying this. Mangoes over clarities to start, guys. Mangoes are really cheap, really nice for the burst mana, and they give you HP regen. I like that you block the hard camp. I also like that you're body blocking the hard camp even though you blocked it with a ward. Then they don't know whether you warded or not. You can't trade with the silencer too well because he's stealing your intelligence. You want to play on the opposite side of the lane of the silencer and just try to focus on getting those hits onto the underlord wherever you can. So it looks like you're going for the stack pull. In this case, it makes perfect sense because the lane is already in a good position. You don't have much else to do. I hope that you send yourself some more Tangos. The silencer does have slow chip over time. Tangos is a perfect way to deal with that. You know, you're getting some pulls off and denying some creeps, and you're managing to get stacks. So overall, this is quite nice. I do think buying 2 salves is a waste. You need to go and like cast more spells and throw more right clicks. In between the stacking and the pulling, you have your boots just kind of sitting in your stash for a while. Like, I don't know why you don't just ship them right away. Plenty of Tangos against an axe, which is very good stuff. 2 mangoes, I love it. Mangoes over clarities every day. Great itemization. When you cast your spell on this guy, he's going to be slowed. That's going to last for 4 seconds. You also have the creep advantage. This is a relatively bad situation for Axe, and you want to punish that by throwing plenty of right clicks. I would just stay to right click a few more times. The pull doesn't need to happen for another 20 seconds. You just stand here for like a full 15 seconds waiting for it. In the meantime, your Frost Blast is back off cooldown. Casting your spells on these guys is really important. And this guy's not allowed here. You should just right click him. And I know you don't want him to get these last hits, but if you just hit him, he has to run away. You have the opportunity to hit him a lot, and you don't do it. And then later, I want you to see like how close he gets to dying. If you had harassed him earlier, maybe he'd die here. It's about every small little trade. This is a dangerous situation for your anti-mage, so he's not going to fight, but you're fine. Like, you want to fight. Go ahead and Q him and hit him, and then that'll also distract him and get him off of your anti-mage, and he's going to take a good amount of damage because it's going to be harder for him to walk away from these creeps, harder for him to walk away from you. You're going to have more time to right click him. Literally, you could just buy a boatload of mangoes and just keep queuing him and he's gonna die. Like, what is he gonna do? It all just comes down to like cast Q more often. Arguably, I should have just taken my E level 1 against Skywrath. I probably shouldn't have approached. He has way longer range than me. And now I definitely know he has a ward. I did have to play really passively for a good period there because I didn't have a salve. Instead of trying to like deal with this Skywrath with my nether ward and like hit him or something, I can just play sort of the opposite side of the lane and hit the underlord a lot more. I think here what I should do is go and stack the small camp. Salving myself was a bit greedy because my Sven is low. Like, I have regen I want to give to my carry, but I can't because I don't have a courier, and I use the salve on myself. This is a lane where it's maybe worthwhile getting like a ward up over in the jungle just so Skye can't chill out there. And probably blocking the hard camp would have been really important. I should have focused that. Against a Skye, the way the hero works, he just does a bunch of damage to you from just seeing you. And the best thing you can do is just get on top of him. So I think that's how I need to play it, is like, how can I sneak up on this guy? I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope we all learned something, and I'll see you next time.